Hundreds of people joined the funeral procession. At least 8 Palestinians were killed in overnight raids across the occupied West Bank. Zain Basrawi has more from Ramallah.
Even as Israel's government, even as the Israelis release Palestinians in seemingly large numbers, in the grand scheme of things small, but for every Palestinian prisoner they release, there seems to be a continued disregard for the freedoms of Palestinians they continue to detain, a continuous disregard for Palestinian life as they continue to kill people in very violent and endless raids in the occupied West Bank. Just in the last 24 hours, 8 people have been killed in raids in various areas across the occupied West Bank. Most of those deaths, most of the activity, the major flashpoint in the last 24 hours, even as these detainees were being released, even as the swap deal was happening, there were raids ongoing overnight in Jenin in enormous fashion. There was a large number of Israeli soldiers going in, blocking ambulances, trying to get into hospitals, pulling injured people out of there, and this kind of thing continued throughout the night into this morning. It began in the early hours with the death of at least 1 doctor in Jenin in the past 24 hours. 5 more were killed, and overnight that death toll went up to 8. There were raids across the area. There was also 1 person killed in a raid near Nablus, as well as 1 near Ramallah, not far from where we are now. So these constant raids, this pressure, is something that people were worried would get worse in the occupied West Bank as the ceasefire went into effect in Gaza. And there does seem to be an observable reality that that is happening. The pressure from the Israeli forces continuing to intensify in the occupied West Bank.
Make sure to subscribe to a channel to the latest news from RDZ World News.